a type of language that consists of words and phrases that are regarded as very informal, are more common in speech than writing, and are typically restricted to a particular context or group of people. And if you ask me, like we do with our gods, I think we should replace slang terms every new year. And that's exactly what this video is. Today I'll be sharing with you 9 words that I propose replace some slang terms for the next year of 2023.
Hey bro, yo, can you the rich guy, bro? Like, can we like let it die out now?
For number 1, we got Riz. Riz is overused, overabused, and it's dead now, alright? The internet killed it. And while we're at it, we should also take a look at drip. Old and primitive, still saying drip. What do you want to get into some unga bunga action? What are you, impressed and entertained by fire? Well, it's time for a new word, and it's time to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So, our first proposal of the night. I propose replacing Riz and drip. I propose ooze. Slowly trickle or seep out of something. Flow in a very gradual way. The blood was oozing from a wound in his scalp. Now, doesn't that sound sexy? Very inspiring to me. And look, we're already doing God's work because it's already a similar word to drip. It's like it's meant to be. It's like this word was invented way back when to be used in this exact video to be replaced. Couldn't be more perfect. All right, number 2. Hang on with me because it gets a little tricky. We got to step up the class, all right? Switch the flow up a little bit. You know what I mean? Some words got to go from informal to formal, and other words got to go from formal to informal. So, next up on the chopping block is vibe check. And what I propose we change it to is associate report. More syllables, more formal, but overall more inclusive slang term. A term that even the elderly can get down with, you know what I mean? Because, you know, off rip, you already understand what associate report stands for. Let me give you an example. Maybe you're at your bar mitzvah, and Uncle Joe is a Kanye fanatic, and he's just getting a little too anti-Semitic at your bar mitzvah, and you go up to your grandmother and you say, "Grandma, Uncle Joe isn't passing the vibe check," and she says, you know, because she's an old woman, "What?" And you say, "Sorry, Grandma, Uncle Joe isn't I'm sorry, Grandma. Uncle Joe is failing his associate report." Next thing you know, your grandma goes over to Uncle Joe and gives him the spanking of a lifetime. A spanking so hard, it makes him wish he still had his foreskin. Because nobody fails an associate report on her grandbaby's bar mitzvah. Speaking of babushkas, something your babushka has probably said during her lifetime is, "Oh shit, Daddy-o, that was sick nasty." Sick. It's time to replace it. I don't know what happened in the past 3 years, but for some reason, every time you just mention the word sick, people just get a little jumpy. So you know what? It's time to change the word. It's time to change the word into something positive from a negative that'll bounce back to a positive. Hang on with me. The word I propose we replace sick with is plague. That just has a certain oomph to it that, you know, really makes the eyes pop. You know, we should just start calling everything plagued. You know what I mean? Oh, did you just do a kick flip 360 spinny winny off of a Garfield's asshole? The new kids might say plagued. Maybe you're on the internet and you see some sinister shit. You can't call it sick anymore because that makes people jump. But now we have a new word, plagued. You can just say that man is plagued in the head. It works perfect. Number 4, dead ass. It seems too violent and too aggressive. And when things are too violent and too aggressive and we're using it all the time, we get desensitized. So we need to put the sensitivity back into our words by upping the response on how we feel with something. I'm so serious. I'm 180 bucks. If that combination of words didn't trigger your fight or flight response, then whoa, relax, Agent 47. No need to be 180 bucks. It sounds good. It sounds healthy. Hey, you're lying, man. No, I'm 180 bucked. It sounds like something they would say in the future. All right, number 5. When you say cap, you think of lies. But when I say cap, I think of the plastic, the turtles dying, the caps are melting, overall, just world disaster, environmental hazards. Now, this proposal is a little extra. More words, more syllables. But again, it's a more inclusive, environmentally friendly term that everybody could understand. All right, that seems to be the theme. The word I propose is polygraph. Right, like a lie detector test. Put me on a polygraph. I think I'm using the right word. I did no research into any of these words, to be honest. I'm just foaming off at the mouth here. But if I'm using the right word, polygraph, it should replace cap. You know what I'm saying? When I say, you already know what I mean. No more grannies saying, "What do these kids mean?" Granny, I'm looking out for you. Gilf Nation. Instead of saying no cap when we're trying to prove 100% truth, we should say, "Give me a polygraph." More syllables, but we understand what you're saying. If you want to get spicy with it, hit with it, you could slim it down, slang it up even more. You could say, "Give me a graph." If you're putting in a text, you could say GAG or gag. And if you really, really want to get hip, you could just say gag me, as in give me a polygraph because I know I would pass. That's a hip term. That's cool. I don't just want to replace beloved slang words. I would also like to see the stock of certain words go up. The word that I propose we start using more often is fuckle knuckle. Does anyone say that? In 2022, describing a situation as fucked up just simply does not do that. Saying fucked up is the new normal. "Oh, you had a fucked up day?" Sounds like you had a normal day to me, bub. We need a phrase that'll put that shock and awe back in our hearts. You know what I mean? That word is fuckle knuckle. Maybe you're behind on your rent. Maybe your baby moms is taking away your kids through a rigged system. Maybe the Supreme Court just decided to take away one of your rights, and you really needed that right, because if that right's gone, you're pretty much fucked. You're pretty much screwed, and that was basically your last straw. The straw that broke your horse's back, and now you have to go in the backyard barn, and put your old little sea biscuit out of misery, Thoroughberg style. Oh, it looks like you're going through quite the fuckle knuckle. Even if you're in utter shock, instead of saying "what the fuck," you could say "what the canuck." Okay, let's get back to replacing some more words, because if it ain't broke, then we gotta break it so that we can fix it. All right, a little bit of a lightning round here, but I think we should replace raw dogging with going in shrimp no tempura. Lit and turnt should do a 180 and go back to the older days, and we should start saying rowdy again. All right, going to that party to get fucked up, it looks like you're gonna get rowdy. You're having a fun time. Oh, it's real rowdy over here. I would like to see that make a comeback. Every 5 seconds, the world is going to war. I mean, every day we wake up and scroll on Twitter to look for something that we would pretend to die for. Which brings me back to my next word. You see, when Gen Z inevitably does go to war, we're gonna need a phrase, a battle cry, to let our enemies know that we're coming. Pause. That we're arriving to battle. Instead of saying "f it, let's ball," because profanity is bad, we should all start saying "tally ho," running up on the ops. Tally ho. Maybe you're about to get in a fight. Tally ho. Are you about to jump somebody that owes you money? Tally ho. Okay. It's been a long ride. Before our final word, I would like to propose something a little abstract, a little different. But hang on with me here. All right? It's gonna get weird. Like it hasn't gotten weird already. But hang on. You remember in middle school when those girls, they would hiss at you? Well, what if they were onto something? You see, 2022, the last few years, it's been rough. And I don't think words can describe certain emotions. So, what if we all just collectively made a specific sound to just describe how we were feeling. Now, this last phrase that I propose is, I'm not doing that again because that was a little unhinged. But you get the point. Life reaches a level of tomfoolery that we just can't take anymore. Why don't we just, let out that type of streak, to let everyone know what the situation looks like. The use of slang can, bring people together, divide people together, make people feel lost, make people feel included. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I'm starting to think that, the years are always bad because we're not updating the slang, and it just leads to misunderstandings. Hey, and if you're seeing this, I would like to see what you propose we say in 2023, because it could in fact be more sane and more ethical than what I've said. Thanks for watching.